Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Half an hour later, Zhou Zhou and the others arrived at the outskirts of Sunshine City. He let Nazario fly in the sky so that it would not expose itself while he paid attention to Bai Yun and his surroundings. Then, the two of them arrived at the entrance of Sunshine City. He saw the city gate. People came and went, bustling with activity. What a lively scene. There are so many people, Bai Yun exclaimed. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. As expected of a yellow gold tier regional territory of the Aurora Kingdom, it was indeed much livelier than his blazing Sun City. However, his expression was very calm because he believed that his Sand Gold City would definitely be even livelier than this place in the near future. The two of them were scanned with the Scarlet Fog Detector at the city gate. They successfully entered Sunshine City after confirming that the two of them were not fog monsters in disguise. After entering the city, the two of them could not help but be attracted by the bustling scene in the city. However, they did not forget their business and only took a few glances before heading straight for the administrative hall. A moment later, in one of the reception rooms of the administrative hall, Zhou Zhou and Bai Yun sat together. On the other side was the city lord of the Sunshine City, Wu Bailian, who had just arrived. He was wearing general armor and had a stocky build. He had a beard and a scar that covered half of his face. This did not make him ugly. Instead, it gave him the might of a fierce general. However, Zhou Zhou and Bai Yun were not ordinary people, so they naturally ignored this might. "So you're the Lord of the Blazing Sun. I've heard a lot about you. May I know why the two of you are suddenly visiting?" Wu Bailian smiled. "City Lord Wu, you're too kind. We're here for no other reason than to buy some yellow gold tier Aurora crystals from you." After Zhou Zhou finished speaking, he took out the Aurora crystal trading contract that Leah had given him. Wu Bailian began to frown after hearing Zhou Zhou's words. He had a bad feeling when he took out the Aurora crystal trading contract. Wu Bailian read the contract and immediately fell silent. Zhou Zhou and Bai could tell that something was wrong with his expression, but neither of them said anything. A moment later, Wu Bailian was the first to shake his head. "Lord of the Blazing Sun. Logically speaking, I should sell you Aurora crystals with this Aurora crystal trading contract. But recently, the 4th Legion of the Taiyan Kingdom is attacking my Sunshine City and the surrounding 16 regional territories of the Aurora Kingdom. As a result, most of the Aurora crystals in our hands have been provided to the front line. Therefore, our supply of Aurora crystals is also very tight. So please forgive me for not being able to sell you the Aurora crystals in our hands," Wu Bailian said. Even though Zhou Zhou had a premonition, he still felt a little helpless when he heard him say this. "It's okay. City Lord Wu has his own difficulties. Then may I ask where the closest yellow gold tier regional territory is? I can exchange it there." Zhou Zhou quickly adjusted his mentality and asked, "I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, Lord of the Blazing Sun. The nearby yellow gold tier and above regional territories are now fighting the Scarlet Legion of the Taiyan Kingdom. They might be in a worse situation than me. They probably won't trade the Aurora crystals with you, my lord. However, more than 3,000 kilometers south is a diamond tier territory of our Aurora Kingdom, Golden Age City. That place is inland of the Aurora Kingdom and is temporarily unaffected by the war. You should be able to buy high-level Aurora crystals there if you urgently need them," Wu Bailian said. Zhou Zhou frowned slightly. How long would this round trip take? He could use the return to the city talent to save time if he was alone. However, he still had Nazario and Bai with him. Return to the city could not bring them back. "Actually, I have another idea, but whether you can get what you want will depend on you, Lord of the Blazing Sun." Wu Bailian pondered for a few seconds before saying, as if seeing the dilemma on Zhou Zhou's face. "What is that?" Zhou Zhou immediately asked. "The Aurora crystal comes from the Aurora race's body and is the source of their life. At the same time, it can also be used to drive the energy of certain special weapons, such as the Aurora Tower. Our country allows our subjects to offer their corpses to the kingdom after they die because it's a strategic resource that concerns the safety of the kingdom. The country will also give such subjects' families a large compensation. In addition, We will confer glory onto these honorable subjects. Right now, there is a batch of yellow gold tier and white platinum tier honorable subject corpses in the Sunshine City Vault. If the Lord of the Blazing Sun believes in your luck, you can try to extract the loot from these corpses and see if you can extract the Aurora crystals you want. But it's more expensive. Every yellow gold tier honorable subject corpse costs 1 white platinum tier mist core, and every white platinum tier honorable subject corpse can only be bought at the price of 1 diamond tier mist core. This is the price whether or not you are able to extract the Aurora crystal or not. I wonder if the Lord of the Blazing Sun is willing to accept it? Wu Balian asked. He had originally thought that the Lord of the Blazing Sun wouldn't accept such harsh conditions. But he did not expect that his eyes lit up and agreed immediately. Okay, Wu Balian. But I can only buy Aurora crystals of yellow gold tier and below, right? Zhou Zhou asked doubtfully. Yes. However, it's fine as long as it is not a ready-made Aurora crystal and only the corpses of white platinum tier honorable subjects. Wu Balian said. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. A moment later, in the Sunshine City Vault, the corpses of 312 yellow gold tier and 112 white platinum tier honorable subjects are here. They were all soldiers of our Aurora Kingdom when they were alive. They chose to offer themselves up after they died. Lord of the Blazing Sun, you can take a look. You can retrieve the corpses' loots, but please don't do anything that would defile the corpses. Wu Balian pointed at the corpses of these honorable subjects. Of course. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, he looked at the corpses and quickly saw that these corpses were different from the other corpses. The corpses of these honorable subjects had actually turned pale white and transparent. Moreover, their corpses seemed to have shrunk and looked very small. In addition, there was a faint white light on their foreheads. Zhou Zhou immediately thought of Princess Liya of the Aurora Kingdom. There was something similar between her eyebrows, however. Hers was a white, prismatic crystal. These corpses had white light spots. Zhou Zhou did not think too much about the difference. He looked at the corpses of one of the honorable subjects. Item name: Phone Use Corpse. Item level: Yellow Gold Tier. Item effect: Contains unextracted loots. Item description: The corpse of an honorable subject made by the Aurora Kingdom with a special potion. It can preserve the Aurora crystal energy in the corpse to the greatest extent. Moreover, the corpse can be preserved for a year. Prompt: This corpse will turn into fog and be reborn at a certain time in the future in 2 hours. Loots: Yellow Gold Tier Aurora Crystal. Drop rate: 5%. There's only one type of loot? Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. Is this the price of preserving the energy of the Aurora Crystal for a long time? He speculated, but did not ponder too long about it. Why are these corpses left here? Shouldn't you try extracting the Aurora crystals early? Zhou Zhou asked curiously, not in a hurry to extract them immediately. According to the kingdom's rules, under normal circumstances, these corpses can only be extracted when the lucky person arrives. Wu Balian said. Zhou Zhou's expression was strange. This was not the first time he had heard of the profession lucky person. It was the same when he bought the Conqueror's blast furnace last time. It seemed that the people of the High Continent believed in metaphysics in this aspect. After that, Zhou Zhou planned to extract the Aurora crystals from the corpse. He said that using the metaphysical method to extract the loots makes it inconvenient for others to see. Wu Balian believed this reason easily. He left the Sunshine City Vault after reminding him again not to do anything rude to the corpse. Zhou Zhou did not waste any time. He directly began to retrieve the loots. A moment later, Zhou Zhou walked out of the Sunshine City Vault. I'm done, he said. Wu Balian nodded and was about to walk into the Sunshine City Vault to check how many corpses had been extracted. He froze as soon as he entered. All the corpses of the honorable subjects in the Sunshine City Vault disappeared. You've extracted them all? Wu Balian turned to look at Zhou Zhou in a daze. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. He looked at the spatial ring. There were 312 yellow gold tier Aurora crystals and 112 white platinum tier Aurora crystals in his spatial ring. I can build a white platinum tier Aurora tower when I return, he thought in satisfaction. You're so rich. Wu Balian could not help but sigh. The corpses of so many honorable subjects were worth a lot. Zhou Zhou smiled and said nothing. Wu Balian would not have said that if he knew his gains. But then again, the corpses of these honorable subjects were indeed expensive. A white platinum tier honorable subject's corpse actually cost a diamond tier mist core, while a yellow gold tier honorable subject's corpse also cost a white platinum tier mist core. It was an entire level higher than their value on the surface. He would have felt that he was being scammed if not for the fact that Zhou Zhou knew the importance of Aurora crystals to the Aurora Kingdom. Zhou Zhou paid Wu Balian the mist cores as agreed. A total of 1,432,000 black iron tier mist cores were spent on 312 yellow gold tier and 112 white platinum tier corpses. This was naturally nothing to the current Zhou Zhou. The mist cores he earned every day far exceeded this number. They did not stay any longer. After saying a simple word to Wu Balian, they bade farewell and left. A moment later, in the sky, Zhou Zhou and Bai Yi stood on Nazario's back. Nazario, which was already 25 meters tall, could carry 30 to 40 people on its back. Therefore, the two of them looked exceptionally spacious and stable standing there. Moreover, Nazario had used the draconic magic to offset the strong wind blowing at them intentionally, so the two of them felt as if they were standing on flat ground. Zhou Zhou stood at the front in silence. When Bai Yi saw this, she could not help but ask curiously, "My lord, are you worried about something? If that's the case, why don't you tell me? I can share my lord's burden." "Nothing. I just thought of something." Zhou Zhou came back to his senses and said, "Are you thinking about what City Lord Wu said about the Taiyan Kingdom attacking Sunshine City and the surrounding territories?" Bai Yi asked. Zhou Zhou was stunned for a moment before nodding. "The Aurora Kingdom borders our territory. If the Aurora Kingdom is breached by the scarlet monsters of the Taiyan Kingdom, when the nest is overturned, no egg stays unbroken. We will definitely be the next target of the Taiyan Kingdom. At the moment, it's very difficult for our territory to withstand the attack of a kingdom-level faction. Moreover, this is a strong Crimson Kingdom," he said. Zhou Zhou naturally did not forget that there was a yellow gold tier regional territory of the Taiyan Kingdom, Dark Night Town, in the south of the white silver tier green forest. As for the reason why the other party did not attack from the direction of the Dark Night Town, from the looks of it, was probably because of the natural barrier of the Sandstorm Forbidden Zone. Other than that, Zhou Zhou also thought of Li Ye, who was still in his territory. This princess of the Aurora Kingdom had been very polite to him ever since she came to his territory. Previously, he thought that this was because the other party had a good upbringing. Perhaps that was not all from the looks of it. She should be looking for help for her kingdom, and he must be a suitable target for her. I do have the potential to become their helper. But potential is still potential. We are not at the level to help them currently. However, I shouldn't have to worry about the Aurora Kingdom not being able to withstand the attacks for the time being. I'm mainly facing the current battlefield of the lords of all races. But I have to think about this early." Zhou Zhou pondered. At this moment, a text notification appeared. "Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking." Zhou Zhou was stunned. Then, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. It seemed that Elder Wu's operation was going quite smoothly. Half an hour later, they returned to Blazing Sun City. "My lord, I want to return to the army and speed up the conquest of those 2 green bronze tier territories." Bai Yi had just jumped off Nazario's back when she immediately said respectfully to Zhou Zhou. Zhou Zhou looked at her. He guessed that she must have been affected by his words just now. That was why she was so anxious to make this request. "Don't be anxious. There's a saying in our hometown, haste makes waste. We're already developing very quickly. The Aurora Kingdom won't collapse in a short period of time." He comforted her. "Yes, but I still want to go." Bai Yi insisted. "Then go, let Nazario take you. Your speed should be faster with Nazario around," Zhou Zhou said. Bai Yi nodded. Soon, she sat on Nazario's back again and flew away with it. Zhou Zhou went to look for Zhao Changshou and handed him a 100 cubic meters spatial ring. "Elder Zhao, there are 1 million black iron tier mist cores, 312 yellow gold tier aurora crystals, and 112 white platinum tier aurora crystals. Elder Zhou, please use them to build the aurora towers in Blazing Sun City and Sandgold City during this period of time. Especially for Blazing Sun City, it's best to build a white platinum tier advanced grade aurora tower. Zhou Zhou said, a white platinum tier advanced grade aurora tower. As long as it could be built. When the time comes, he would have the confidence to get even an extraordinary tier elementary grade invader to retreat if they dared to invade his Blazing Sun City. Yes, my lord. However, I will need to mobilize a portion of the blacksmiths, carpenters, and other lifestyle professionals in the territory to join in if you want to build a white platinum tier aurora tower. Only then can I complete the construction. I hope my lord can agree. Zhao Changshuo asked respectfully. As a high-level architect, he could command ordinary people to build buildings of lower levels with his own ability. However, the higher the level of the building, the more it needed the participation of many living talents. For example, blacksmiths, carpenters, engravers, painters, and other lifestyle professionals. They were all indispensable talents in the construction of high-level buildings. That was why he made this request. Zhou Zhou naturally agreed readily. After that, he stopped chatting and went to look for Liya. My lord is back so soon? Liya said in surprise. I just got back. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. I just went to Sunshine City and realized that the situation there and the area around it doesn't seem to be very good. They seem to have been attacked by the army of the Taiyan Kingdom. He hesitated and said. Liya nodded. The Taiyan Kingdom and my Aurora Kingdom have a long-standing grudge. I knew about this before I came. My lord, if you're interested in the war at the kingdom level, you can come with me to take a look when I return. I can guarantee that this trip will not be made in vain. Sure. Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and nodded. He was so close to the territory of the Taiyan Kingdom. The Taiyan Kingdom would also become his enemy in the future. Since that was the case, it was good to understand it in advance. A smile immediately appeared on Liya's face seeing Zhou Zhou agree to her suggestion. By the way, Your Highness, I wonder if what you said last time about agreeing to one of my requests still stands? Zhou Zhou said, Of course. Father's promise will always be carried out. My lord, have you thought of what you want? Liya asked. I need an alchemy technician above the yellow gold tier advanced grade. Zhou Zhou nodded and said, there was still no alchemy technician who could learn the blueprint of the mist energy cannon until now. That was why he made this request. He would have an offensive weapon in the future Myriad Race's Lord battlefield, as long as he could build the mist energy cannon. Alchemy technician. I'll remember it. I'll go back and tell my father tomorrow. Liya nodded. This request was naturally simple to the kingdom. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, the two of them chatted for a while before he returned to the Lord's residence. Liya stood for a long time as she watched Zhou Zhou leave. Why is Your Highness so polite to this lord? He may be very impressive now, but he's only a small lord. Aren't there many people like him in our Aurora Kingdom? Yu Qiao, the maid, walked over and asked curiously. There are some things you don't understand. Even though he's still very weak, a lord of all races summoned by the Supreme will is their greatest advantage. We lords of the High Continent have fought for tens of thousands of years in the High Continent, but not a single lord of all races has been born. The Supreme will seems to be disappointed in us now, so it has already vaguely shifted its focus from us to these lords. Under the care of the Supreme will, they will grow very quickly. It's possible for them to grow to any extent in the future. We're helping him now, but it might not be too long before this Lord of the Blazing Sun helps us instead, Liya explained. Yu Qiao's mouth widened in surprise. In the Lord's residence, after Zhou Zhou returned, he entered the bathroom and practiced the dark water mystic technique in the bathtub that was filled with water. During this period, every once in a while, a notification would appear that the rankings in the Lord battlefield had increased. Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking. Your subject has conquered a Green Bronze Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 2 rankings. Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking. In less than 3 hours, Zhou Zhou heard 4 notifications that the number of rankings had increased. Among them, there were 2 Black Iron Tier and 2 Green Bronze Tier Scarlet Lord territories. His ranking had increased 7 times, including the time he heard it on the way back. Zhou Zhou felt very comfortable listening to it. He wanted to immediately continue his competition, if not for the fact that his main force was still fighting outside and had not returned. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. Your subject has conquered a Green Bronze Tier regional territory, Black Rock Desert, and obtained 4 rankings. Zhou Zhou sat up in the tub. The Black Rock Desert has been breached? Not bad. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. It seemed that there was indeed hope of breaking through 2 Green Bronze Tier regional territories today. He stopped practicing the Dark Water Mystic technique, and he walked out of the bathtub instead. After wiping his body, he put on his clothes and walked out of the residence to a Green Bronze Tier advanced grade dojo in the territory. The dojo master, Li Si, was the Green Bronze Tier advanced grade martial master that Zhou Zhou had encountered when he first went to Sandgold City. Greetings, my lord. When Li Si heard that Zhou Zhou was here, he immediately put down his work and came over to say respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. How have you been? He asked casually. Reporting to my lord, everything has been going well recently. The dojo has also developed very smoothly. It is almost full now. Li Si smiled. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. My lord, X2. At this moment, 2 familiar and surprised voices sounded. Zhou Zhou looked over. He happened to see the Cat sisters, Aliyah and Atli. Greetings, my lord. Aliyah and Atli bowed to him with flushed faces after running over. Long time no see. Have you been cultivating martial arts here recently? Zhou Zhou asked. We immediately came here to be apprentices of the dojo after my lord gave us the instructions. The older sister, Aliyah, nodded. Not only that, but we will also often go out to hunt fog monsters. The younger Atli said. Zhou Zhou looked at their attribute information. He was surprised to discover that they had actually already become white silver tier elementary grade martial artists. This strength was definitely impossible if one did not work hard and hunt mini monsters while cultivating martial arts. My lord, is there any work we can do in the territory? Aliyah asked expectantly. Why don't you return to the Blazing Sun Army? Zhou Zhou said. We can, but we're martial artists now. Our fighting style is different from the military professionals. I'm afraid the effect won't be very good if we join. Aliyah said awkwardly. Then make arrangements with Bai Yun when she comes back. Zhou Zhou happily threw this matter to Bai Yun. Yes, my lord. The Aliyah sisters naturally had no objections. By the way, your gust blade has already been cultivated to the upper limit. Coincidentally, there was a new white silver tier elementary grade martial master in the territory yesterday. The 2 of you can also learn under him after his white silver tier elementary grade dojo is built. Zhou Zhou said. Yes, my lord. The sister's eyes lit up and said respectfully immediately. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, he asked Li Si to arrange a martial arts cultivation room for him, and began to cultivate the gust blade in the martial arts cultivation room. He had not practiced this saber technique for a long time. Now was a good time to practice. Under the special stats of the martial arts cultivation room, martial arts comprehension +2, cultivation efficiency +20%, and the additional 20% effect of promotion energy, Zhou Zhou quickly felt the difference from his usual cultivation. He seemed to have more inspiration and ideas about the martial arts he cultivated. At the same time, when he was cultivating martial arts, he could clearly feel more promotion energy than usual surging into his body as his martial arts movements changed. Zhou Zhou was addicted to this feeling in no time. At the same time, he had an idea. The Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade Dojo has such an effect. What about a White Silver Tier Elementary Grade 1? I can visit more often and master another martial arts technique after that White Silver Tier Elementary Grade Martial Master opens the school. Then, Zhou Zhou stopped thinking about it and continued to practice his gust blade. Time passed slowly. Soon, there were only more than 3 hours left until nightfall. At this moment, a line of text suddenly attracted Zhou Zhou's attention, who was practicing martial arts. Your subject has conquered a green bronze tier regional territory, Silent Wasteland, and obtained 4 rankings. Zhou Zhou stopped. He looked at the notification and could not help but smile. Then, he looked at the text notification. During this period of time, there were 5 notifications that the number of rankings had increased. Among them, conquering 3 green bronze tier Scarlet Lord territories gave him 6 additional rankings. There were also 2 black iron tier Scarlet Lord territory that gave him 2 more rankings. Now I can rank 23 times. Zhou Zhou thought in satisfaction. With so many rankings, as long as nothing unexpected happened, it was a sure bet that his Lord rank would advance to green bronze tier elementary grade. However, this was not what Zhou Zhou was looking forward to the most. Today, his Blazing Sun army had conquered a total of 10 Scarlet Lord territories. Among them, there were 5 black iron tier Scarlet Lord territories and 5 green bronze tier Scarlet Lord territories, which meant Bai Yun and the others would bring him 10 Scarlet Lord corpses today. So many Scarlet Lord corpses. It should be enough to upgrade another Lord talent, even if it doesn't drop a new Lord talent. Zhou Zhou thought expectantly. In the Blazing Sun City, Li Ya and her maid, Yu Qiao, were taking a walk in the territory. Along the way, she suddenly saw Zhao Changshu, who was gathering people. Elder Zhao, are you going to build new buildings again? Li Ya walked over and asked curiously. Zhao Changshu thought for a moment. His lord seemed to have intentionally or unintentionally reminded him not to deliberately hide the fact that he wanted to build the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower. Thinking of this, he nodded in relief. My lord has ordered me to build some white platinum tier and yellow gold tier Aurora Towers in Blazing Sun City and Sandgold City. That's why I have to gather people now, he said. Li Ya could not help but frown. White platinum tier Aurora Tower. Wouldn't he need the white platinum tier Aurora crystals? How did the Lord of the Blazing Sun obtain it? She was very puzzled. However, she did not reveal anything on the surface. Instead, she smiled and nodded. So Elder Zhao is going to build the white platinum tier elementary grade or white platinum tier intermediate grade Aurora Tower? If that's the case, the territories under the Lord of the Blazing Sun will be safe for a long time after the white platinum tier Aurora Tower is built. As the princess of the Aurora Kingdom, Li Ya naturally knew how powerful her kingdom level building was. It was no exaggeration to say that the reason why the Aurora Kingdom had been able to stand firm under the attack of the Taiyan Kingdom for so many years. Other than the existence of the 3 extraordinary tier heroes in her kingdom, it was the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower that covered all the important military regions in the Aurora Kingdom. Moreover, the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower could be rebuilt. They were even more important than extraordinary tier heroes in war to a certain extent. However, what Zhao Changshu said next completely stunned the Aurora Kingdom princess. It's not to build the white platinum tier elementary grade or intermediate grade Aurora Tower. I am going to build the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower for the Lord. Zhao Changshu shook his head. You've been promoted to a white platinum tier advanced grade architect? Li Ya was stunned for a moment before saying in surprise. No, I'm already a diamond tier elementary grade architect, Zhao Changshu said. Li Ya was stunned for a long time before she suddenly said anxiously, wouldn't you be able to build a diamond tier elementary grade Aurora Tower instead then? I haven't had the opportunity to build it yet, but there shouldn't be a problem. Zhao Changshu chuckled. Li Ya was deeply shocked. Elder Zhao, Li Ya requests that you return to the Aurora Kingdom. In recent years, the Aurora Kingdom has not been in a good situation. Not only do we have to face the threat of the Taiyan Kingdom, but we also have to guard against the people of foreign races in the north. You know about all of this. As long as you're willing to return to the Aurora Kingdom and take charge of the construction of the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower, I can promise you that Father will definitely give you a status and treatment that's not inferior to an extraordinary tier hero. Li Ya begged seriously. The White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Aurora Tower could face an extraordinary tier expert head-on. The Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Kingdom Tower welcomed a qualitative change and would directly have the power to kill extraordinary tier experts. The strongest expert of an ordinary kingdom-level faction was only an extraordinary tier expert. If the Aurora Kingdom had a large number of diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Towers, its military strength would directly increase by one or even several levels. At that time, they would definitely not be as passive as he was now when facing the Taiyan Kingdom and the other people of foreign races. The more Leah thought about it, the more excited she became. The appearance of the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower would allow her to see the new dawn of the Aurora Kingdom. Zhao Changshu looked at her with mixed feelings. Finally, he shook his head. "Your Highness, don't say such things again. My lord has given me a new lease on life. I'm already dead loyal to my lord. I, Zhao Changshu, will never turn to another country in this life, even if I die." He said it extremely firmly and seriously. Leah was a little confused. He had only been here for a little more than 10 days, and he was actually already dead loyal to that Lord of the Blazing Sun? What charms did he have to make a diamond-tier elementary-grade architect treat him so well? She suddenly thought of something. Then, she said goodbye to Zhao Changshu and ran straight to the Lord's residence. "Your Highness, slow down." The maid, Yu Qiao, chased after her. Zhao Changshu was left deep in thought. On the other side, when Liya and Yu Qiao arrived at the Lord's residence, they realized that Zhou Zhou was not there. After asking around for a long time, they found out that Zhou Zhou had gone to the dojo. The two of them immediately rushed to the dojo. A moment later, the three of them met in a lounge in the dojo. "Your Highness, why are you looking for me so urgently?" Zhou Zhou looked at Liya and asked. "My lord, Liya has a request." She said. "Please continue." Zhou Zhou acknowledged. "I want to hire Zhao Changshu, Elder Zhao, to go to our Aurora Kingdom and build the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower." Liya went straight to the point. Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. However, he was not surprised. When he told Elder Zhao that he wanted to build the white platinum-tier advanced-grade Aurora Tower, he had never thought of hiding it from anyone else. He even wanted Elder Zhao to tell Liya about this. The fish really took the bait looking at it now. "Elder Zhao is the best architect in my territory. He's also an old senior I rely on. Your Highness, this request is really putting me on the spot," Zhou Zhou said with a troubled expression. "Our Aurora Kingdom will pay a price that will satisfy the Lord and Elder Zhao," Liya said. "Then I can consider it." Zhou Zhou's expression changed as he smiled. Liya was speechless. Why did she suddenly feel like she had been tricked? "What does my lord want?" She pondered for a few seconds and asked calmly. "I want your Aurora Kingdom to build a diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower in my Blazing Sun City for free. All the manpower and resources will be provided by you other than Elder Zhao. In addition, I hope you can help if I want to build more advanced Aurora Towers." "Of course. It would not be for free." Zhou Zhou smiled. He had this thought in his mind ever since he found out that Zhao Changshu had been promoted to a diamond-tier elementary-grade architect. However, he was limited by manpower and resources at that time, so he could not do it. Now was the perfect time to do this. "Okay, I promise you on behalf of my father." "Are there any other conditions?" Liya agreed immediately. Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. He thought that she would at least go back and discuss it with the Aurora Kingdom king after she heard this condition. He did not expect her to agree directly. He seemed to have underestimated the ability of this Aurora Kingdom princess. "There's another condition. At the moment, I really need Elder Zhao in my territory. I'll let him go to your place to help after Elder Zhao is done with my matters." Zhou Zhou pondered for a moment and said, "That's what it should be. It can't be considered a condition." Actually, the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower can also be completed in the Lord's territory before being transported back to our Aurora Kingdom. There's no need for Elder Zhao to travel a long way to supervise the construction, Liya said. "Then so be it. Send over the resources and manpower to build the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower and transport them back when the construction is complete." Zhou Zhou was stunned for a moment before speaking immediately. It was naturally best if Elder Zhao did not leave the territory. Liya nodded. "Then I haven't thought of any other requests for the time being. Let's talk about it when I think of it." Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and said. Leah nodded. Our Aurora Kingdom will always remember and honor this request, she said seriously. Zhou Zhou smiled and nodded. A smile finally appeared on Leah's face, seeing that the matter was settled. Zhou Zhou was also quite satisfied. This transaction was considered a happy ending. Then, Leah asked curiously where the white platinum tier Aurora crystal came from. Zhou Zhou told the other party what had happened before the other party came to a realization. However, she was also amazed by Zhou Zhou's luck. Regarding his luck, Zhou Zhou smiled and did not say anything else. In that case, there's no time to lose. Let's go back now and tell my father about this. Leah stood up and said, Are you in such a hurry? It's almost dark. It won't be too late to leave tomorrow. Zhou Zhou was a little surprised. The sooner we get this done, the better. Otherwise, a large number of Aurora Kingdom subjects will die at the hands of the fog monsters in the Taiyan Kingdom every moment, Leah said solemnly. Since the other party had already said so, Zhou Zhou did not say anything else. Seeing this, Leah and Yu Qiao went back to pack their luggage. The two of them had just walked out of the Lord's residence, when Yu Qiao could not help but click her tongue. Your Highness, not long ago, you said that we might be helped by the Lord of the Blazing Sun in the future. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. Things are unpredictable. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. But it's a good thing. Leah also felt a little emotional and smiled. Yu Qiao nodded vigorously. A moment later, the two of them left Blazing Sun City. Zhou Zhou personally sent the two of them out of the city. He was not worried about their safety. This was because Nazario had long reminded him that the two of them were protected by a mysterious guardian. The aura of the guardian even made it feel fear. However, the other party was still polite. The guardian did not even enter the city when Leah and her maid lived in Blazing Sun City, guarding them from outside the city. Perhaps the other party was confident that he or she would rush over immediately even if something happened to Leah and the other party in the city. However, that was not Zhou Zhou's concern. A moment later, Bao Xiu'er came to the Lord's residence to look for him. My lord, this is the white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony that the teacher has just made. Do you want to try it on? She asked. There's no need to try it on. I still believe in teacher Zhang Li's skills. Zhou Zhou smiled and took the bag of clothes. He took it out and looked at it. The overall style of the white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony was not much different from before. However, Zhou Zhou could also tell that it had become more exquisite and imposing. A text notification appeared. Outfit name, New Wind Ceremony. Outfit grade, white silver tier elementary grade. Set attribute 1, New Wind Protection. The surface of the New Wind Ceremony is engraved with the New Wind Defense Sigil. It can defend against white silver tier physics and energy damage from the outside world. It can also play a certain defensive role against some yellow gold tier physics and energy damage. Set attribute 2, Beauty of the Ceremony, same as before. Set attribute 3, New Wind, same as before. Current outfit completeness, May 5th. Introduction. A unique piece of equipment for New Wind's tailoring skills. It was inherited from a certain extinct country. Zhou Zhou nodded in satisfaction. The increase in the noble charm effect from Beauty of the Ceremony and New Wind's flying effect did not change. However, its defense had been greatly strengthened. The highest could already play a certain defensive role against some yellow gold tier physics and energy damage. This improvement was quite practical. I'll bring Elder Bai to see teacher Zhang Li and teacher Li Huiyue later. Do you want to come along? Zhou Zhou said.
Yes.
Bao Xiu'er's eyes lit up and she immediately said. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Half an hour later, Bai Yun, Wu Xian, Nazario, Soul Reaper Maris, and a group of soldiers had returned. At the same time, they also brought back all the loots from the 2 green bronze tier regions. Greetings, my lord. Bai Yun and Wu Xian knelt on the ground and said respectfully, Rise, I already know your results. It's been hard on you guys. Zhou Zhou smiled. This is our duty, Bai Yun said in a deep voice. Since I promised the Lord that I would return victorious, I naturally can't go back on my word. Wu Xian chuckled. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. After that, the two of them reported the results of the day to him. In order to take down 2 green bronze tier regional territories, they had killed more than 15,000 monsters. They used the Conqueror's blast furnace to retrieve the loots. Under the effect of the perfect loots, they obtained a total of 142,546 green bronze tier mist cores, 32,154 white silver tier mist cores, and 718 yellow gold tier mist cores. 24,620 various skill books. Green bronze tier, white silver tier, yellow gold tier. 16,548 pieces of equipment. Green bronze tier, white silver tier, yellow gold tier. 1 cerulean planet ancestor statue, green bronze tier. 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy pharmacist recruitment books. 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technician recruitment books. 32 origin crystals. 5 black iron tier territory tokens. 5 green bronze tier territory tokens. 2 green bronze tier regional tokens. 74 green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments. Also in today's battle, under the influence of the blessing of the 10 gods, the war god's blessing, many soldiers also broke through. Now, in his blazing sun army, there were already 1,124 green bronze tier military professionals and 58 white silver tier military professionals. Among the remaining soldiers, the weakest was at the black iron tier intermediate grade. At the end of the battle, Bai Yun's strength also broke through again, reaching the white silver tier advanced grade. Zhou Zhou was quite satisfied. He was even more determined to upgrade the blessing of the 10 gods, the lord talent of the blessing of the war god. He happened to obtain enough green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments this time and would be able to upgrade this talent from green bronze tier to white silver tier today. However, he had plenty of time now and was not in a hurry to upgrade it immediately. Therefore, Zhou Zhou looked at the other loots first. Firstly, there was the green bronze tier ancestor statue of the cerulean planet's human race. Treasure name: Cerulean planet's ancestor statue, Gong Shuban. Treasure grade: green bronze tier. Treasure effect: place it in the shrine of the Imperial Ancestral Temple and activate the ancestor statue's beneficial effect on territory, subjects, or lords. Treasure description: the ancestor of ancient Chinese civil architecture, the carpenter ancestor, and the ancestor of the opera. Prompt: collect 2 ancestral statues of the same level and the same person, and you can fuse them into a higher level ancestral statue. The fused ancestral statue will produce a better buff effect on the territory, subjects, and lords. It's actually Gong Shuban. He's also a big shot. Zhou Zhou was surprised. Then, he put this cerulean planet's ancestor statue into his spatial ring and went to the Imperial Ancestral Temple and placed it in the rightmost shrine. The next second, the Imperial Ancestral Temple shook slightly again. At the same time, a gritted and calm man's voice sounded in his mind. I will not kill anyone. This should be the voice of Ancestor Gong Shuban. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. You have placed a green bronze tier ancestor statue of the cerulean planet's human race in the shrine of the Imperial Ancestral Temple, Gong Shuban. You have activated the exclusive ancestral enhancement effect. Part of the craftsman. The current ancestor statue has been updated. Current ancestral enhancement effect has been updated. Zhou Zhou opened the current ancestral enhancement effect. A text notification appeared. Ancestral enhancement. Part of the craftsman. Grade: green bronze tier. Enhancement effect 1. Increase the efficiency of war machinery manufacturing in the territory by 30%. Enhancement effect 2. Construction efficiency of the territory plus 10%. Blessing description: a blessing from cerulean planet's ancestor Gong Shuban. This enhancement can be used soon. After Zhou Zhou saw the enhancement effect, he immediately thought of the Aurora Tower. This was because the Aurora Tower was both a building and a war machine. It could completely take into account the effects of both effects at the same time. Moreover, The construction efficiency of his territory would increase by 10% in the future. This was undoubtedly one of the most needed enhancements for the rapidly developing Blazing Sun City and Sandgold City. The more Zhou Zhou looked at it, the more satisfied he was with this ancestral enhancement. After that, he bowed 3 times to these 2 ancestors and left the Imperial Ancestral Temple. He came to the Gate of Summoning and threw in 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy, pharmacist recruitment books, and 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technician recruitment books. Soon, 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy pharmacists and 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technicians walked out of the Gate of Summoning. "Greetings, my lord, X5," they said respectfully. "Welcome, everyone," Zhou Zhou acknowledged. As expected, these 5 were gnomes from the people of foreign races like Ashburn. He looked at their skill list. The skill list of 2 alchemy pharmacists was similar to Peggy Orlena's in the Gnome Alchemy Workshop. They were all life potions, energy potions, and some unimportant ordinary potions. It was just that the level of the potions was higher. As for the remaining 3 alchemy technicians, even though the contents of the skill list were the same, what they knew attracted Zhou Zhou's attention. Zhou Zhou looked at one of them. Subject: Ivan Rowley. Territory: Blazing Sun City. Life profession: Alchemy technician. Profession level: White silver tier intermediate grade. Ability overview: Member of the Alchemy Technology Guild. He can make some practical alchemy technology products and yearns for money and status. Skills: Alchemy technology, mechanical flying claw, black iron tier advanced grade. Alchemy technology, mechanostrider, white silver tier elementary grade. Alchemy technology, biological prosthesis, white silver tier intermediate grade. Loyalty: Dead loyal. Potential: white platinum tier intermediate grade. Zhou Zhou opened these 3 alchemy technologies and checked their details. Alchemy technology product: mechanical flying claw. Grade: black iron tier advanced grade. Product effect: press the switch and you can fire a grappling claw to grab an object or life. After that, you can choose to pull yourself closer to the other party or pull the other party to your side. Product description: one of the products of Gnome Alchemy Technology. It is commonly seen in construction work, waste recycling, and disposal. Alchemy Technology Product: Mechanostrider. Grade: white silver tier elementary grade. Product effect: 1. Uses the mist core as a power source and has high-level intelligence. It can carry out most of the orders of the rider. Its normal speed is 300 kilometers per hour. It can easily travel in plains, wilderness, forests, deserts, and other environments. Moreover, it can maintain a certain level of mobility under harsh environment conditions such as magma, swamps, storms, and vortexes. It will not be damaged for a short period of time. Product effect 2. Swift flight. The Mechanostrider accelerates the burning of the mist core in its body and activates flight mode. Its flying speed will increase to 2,000 kilometers per hour in an hour. An hour later, the Mechanostrider will enter cool-down mode. Its speed will decrease to 1,000 kilometers per hour and return to normal 2 hours later. Product description: a combination of gnome alchemy technology and goblin craftsmanship. It contains the crystallization of both parties' wisdom. It is a cheap and practical means of transportation and is deeply loved by adventurers and travelers. Alchemy technology product: biological prosthesis. Grade: white silver tier intermediate grade. Product effect: it can be installed in the incomplete parts of a disabled life form, allowing the disabled life form to recover the basic biological functions. Product description: one of the representative works of gnome alchemy technology. When it was born, it caused a sensation in the entire alchemy technology world. Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up as he looked at the 3 alchemy technologies. Zhou Zhou looked at the 3 alchemy items. Among them, the mechanical flying claw could be used in the construction process. There was no need to mention the Mechanostrider. Originally, the Mechanostrider was only a black iron tier advanced grade alchemy technology. This has directly increased to the white silver tier elementary grade now. Not only would its speed increase greatly, it would also directly exceed the overcharge mode speed of the original black iron tier advanced grade. Moreover, The original overcharge mode had directly become flight mode. Its flying speed was also quite extraordinary. It could travel 2,000 kilometers in an hour. This was already twice the speed of an ordinary civil aircraft on the cerulean planet. The speed in cooldown mode was comparable to the highest speed of a civil aircraft. Manufacture. He had to manufacture it. Zhou Zhou immediately thought with excitement. This thing was too important to his territory. Zhou Zhou could even build an airport with it. They were here to provide flying services to themselves, the army, the subjects, and even the life forms from the outside world. Wu Tu's reconnaissance team could also be upgraded. As for the final biological prosthesis, it was also very useful. Zhou Zhou was fighting other lords every day. His subjects were all ordinary people. It was not like those high-level races which could regenerate themselves even if their limbs were broken. To ordinary people, disability represents a lifetime of misfortune. Not only would they not be able to be a soldier, their lives would be problematic. Now that he had this biological prosthesis, those disabled subjects could return to their normal lives. They could even join the army or pursue other professions again. It was definitely different from their original limbs. It would already become a huge change to the disabled subjects. What kind of biological prosthesis can you make? Zhou Zhou asked. I can make leg prosthetics. I can make arm prosthetics. I can make both. The 3 white silver-tier intermediate-grade alchemy technicians said. Can you make fake eyes? The kind that can see things normally? Zhou Zhou asked. The structure of the false eye is even more complicated. We need to be at least at the yellow gold tier to be able to make it. We can't make it yet. Ivan Rowley was in a difficult position. In that case, it's fine. Zhou Zhou could not help but feel that it was a pity. However, he did not care too much. In the future, as the level of the monsters killed by his subjects increased, they would definitely drop higher-level alchemy technician recruitment books. He might be able to create fake eyes when the time comes. Will my territory develop into cyberpunk style in the future? This thought suddenly appeared in Zhou Zhou's mind. Then, he could not help but laugh. Who cares about the style? It doesn't matter as long as he is strong. After that, he asked the 2 of them about the materials needed to make these 3 alchemy technologies and the approximate cost. The cost of making the black iron tier advanced grade mechanical flying claw was 10 black iron tier mist cores. A white silver tier elementary grade mechanostrider cost 5 white silver tier mist cores, while a white silver tier intermediate grade biological prosthetic limb cost 8 white silver tier mist cores. After Zhou Zhou found out, he immediately set up a transaction to buy the corresponding manufacturing materials in the marketplace. Then, he sent the 5 of them to the Gnome Alchemy Workshop and asked them to work with Ashburn and the others. After the materials arrived, he would specially make these 3 new alchemy technologies. After that, Zhou Zhou returned to the Lord's residence. Then, he took out a set of new skill books he had obtained today and learned them all. There was no harm in having more skills. In any case, there was no limit to the number of skills he could learn. It would not be wrong to learn more. After that, he looked at the remaining loots thoughtfully and did not choose to sell them at the marketplace. This was because these skills and equipment were things that military professionals and subjects had never mastered. In addition, they could not be reproduced through the monster ranches. If they sold them, they would really be gone. He still only wanted to sell the products produced by the monster ranches. As for these loots, they could be put into the military merit exchange system and subject contribution points exchange system to let the military professionals and subjects become stronger. This could also encourage the subjects to make contributions to the territory. Then, he took out the 2 green bronze tier regional tokens. Zhou Zhou looked at them. The item information appeared. Treasure name, regional token, region name, Blackrock Desert, changeable, regional grade, green bronze tier, area size, about 1,211 square kilometers. Treasure description, Blackrock Desert's regional token. A lord who possesses this regional token and integrates it into the territory stone tablet can become a regionad lord of the Blackrock Desert and obtain an exclusive regional treasure chest. Treasure name, regional token, region name, Silent Wasteland, changeable, regional grade, green bronze tier. Area size, about 1,542 square kilometers. Treasure description, regional token of the blazing sun desert. The lord who possesses the regional token and fuses it with the territory stone tablet can become the regional lord of the blazing sun desert and obtain a regional exclusive treasure chest. Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. As expected of a green bronze tier area, the Blackrock Desert alone was twice the size of the blazing sun desert. The silent wasteland was 3 times the size of the blazing sun desert. Then, he came to the territory tablet and fused the 2 regional tokens into it. Rows of golden text notifications appeared. Congratulations on obtaining a green bronze tier regional token, Blackrock Desert. You have officially become the regional lord of this region. Congratulations on obtaining a green bronze tier regional token, Silent Wasteland, and officially becoming the regional lord of this region. New Blackrock Desert, green bronze tier, and Silent Wasteland, green bronze tier, have been added to your regional territory. You have obtained 2 regional treasure chests. Zhou Zhou opened his regional territory column. He looked over. Regional territory, Blazing Sun Desert, Black Iron Tier, Sandgoldland, Black Iron Tier, Thorn Dune, Black Iron Tier, Blackrock Desert, Green Bronze Tier, Silent Wasteland, Green Bronze Tier. I already have 5 regional territories. Zhou Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Then, he opened the 2 regional treasure chests. There was a green bronze tier regional resource pack in the Blackrock Desert's regional treasure chest. Inside was a total of 2 million units of basic resources and 50,000 units of green bronze tier materials, forged stainless steel. In the other regional treasure chest, something Zhou Zhou did not expect appeared. It was actually a hero skill book. It recorded a hero skill called the Silent March. Hero skill, Silent March. Level, Extraordinary Tier Advanced Grade. Skill effect, when a hero who has mastered the hero skill, Silent March leads an army to march. After activating the hero skill, the hero and the army he leads will not make any sound during the march for the next period of time. At the same time, they will not leave any traces of marching. Divination-type professionals of the same level will not be able to detect the information of this hero and the army he leads. Prompt 1. The duration of the Silent March will depend on the strength of the hero. The stronger the hero is, the longer it will last, and the harder it will be to be discovered. The weaker the hero, the shorter the duration, and the easier it will be for them to be discovered. Prompt 2. This hero skill is essentially a half-growth skill. The upper limit of growth is Extraordinary Tier Advanced Grade. Any hero with a hero's fate level above Extraordinary Tier can learn it. A regional treasure chest that actually drops a hero skill? This hero skill is too awesome. I like it. Zhou Zhou looked at the hero skill book and was pleasantly surprised. Let Bai Yun use it. Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and immediately made a decision. Not only was Bai Yun the commander of the Blazing Sun Army, she was also an epic tier hero with a higher potential than Elder Wu. Moreover, she had followed him the longest and made the most contributions. There were so many reasons. She was naturally the person with the most potential and qualifications to use this hero skill. Zhou Zhou was not a hero yet, so he naturally could not learn this hero skill. After that, he sent someone to call Bai Yun over and handed this hero skill to her. Bai Yun was shocked when she saw the hero skill in her hand. As a hero, she naturally knew the importance of hero skills. It could be said that heroic skills and the fate level were the 2 symbolic statuses of heroes. Both of them were indispensable. The Lord actually handed such an important treasure to him. Thank you, my Lord. I will definitely not let you down, my Lord. I will develop this hero skill to the greatest extent. Bai took a deep breath and thanked him respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. He was about to say something when he saw Bai Yun hesitate and say, "By the way, my lord, Aaliyah and Atli came to look for me just now. They said they wanted to find a job in the territory. After thinking about it, I finally feel that you need them the most, my lord." Why do you say that? Zhou Zhou was a little surprised. Because the Lord's territory is no longer the same as before. The Lord is busy every day. Under such circumstances, How can my lord not have at least 2 servants you can order around at any time? Like just now. I'm afraid my lord would still get a soldier you found on the spot to call me, right? Bai Yun said. Zhou Zhou opened his mouth and realized that he could not refute. He had indeed found the patrol soldiers and asked them to go to Bai Yun and call her over. Thinking of this, he really needed 2 people who could help him at any time. Sure, we'll do as you say. Zhou Zhou agreed without hesitation. In any case, there were guest rooms in the mansion now. Since the 2 of them were here, and they had a ready-made place to live, they could also increase the population of such a huge lord's residence. Bai Yun nodded. After that, Zhou Zhou asked Bai Yi to go to the soldiers and get them to prepare to enter the battlefield of the lords of all races. Bai Yi immediately took her leave. Then, Zhou Zhou took out 100 green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments. He looked at the fragments. Soon, a line of golden words slowly appeared. Discovered 100 green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments. Do you want to fuse them into a white silver tier lord talent origin divine crystal?
Yes.
Zhou Zhou said. The next second, a large amount of green bronze light flashed. Then, a thumb-sized hexagonal silver crystal appeared in front of him. It was surrounded by a silver-white belt of light that looked like a ring of stars. It was the white silver tier Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal. Treasure name: Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal. Treasure grade: white silver tier. Treasure effect 1. The Lord will randomly awaken a green bronze tier Lord Talent after absorbing it. Treasure effect 2. A Lord with a green bronze tier Lord Talent can use it to upgrade his green bronze tier Lord Talent to a white silver tier Lord Talent. Treasure description: a law treasure condensed by the supreme will. It can be used to awaken talent or upgrade talents. Absorb/upgrade? Upgrade, Zhou Zhou said in a low voice. As you have 3 green bronze tier Lord Talents, Gnome Alchemy Workshop, Insight Defection, and 10 God's Blessing, War God's Blessing, please choose one to upgrade. I choose to upgrade the Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God, Zhou Zhou said. The other 2 green bronze tier Lord Talents were not bad. However, he still felt that increasing the Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God, was the best choice. Lord Talent has been chosen. Upgrading in progress. The next second, a familiar warm feeling came from between his eyebrows. A moment later, the warmth faded. A new text notification appeared. Lord Talent upgrade successful. Congratulations, your green bronze tier Lord Talent, Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God, has been upgraded to green bronze tier Lord Talent, Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God. Your mythical tier Lord Talent effect is as follows. Lord Talent, Blessing of the 10 Gods, Blessing of the War God, white silver tier. Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God. One of the 10 war gods under the Supreme will has blessed you and your military professions. You and your military professions will obtain an additional 400% promotion energy after killing the enemy. This improvement is not bad. Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up when he saw the contents of the enhanced talent. From the original, obtain an additional 200% promotion energy. 2. Obtain an additional 400% promotion energy. In the future, killing 1 enemy with his soldiers would be equivalent to killing 5 enemies. This is only at white silver tier. What about the mythical tier? Zhou Zhou could not help but look forward to it. A moment later, he came back to his senses and looked at the crystal fragment of the Lord Talent he had before falling into deep thought. If I want to continue upgrading this Lord Talent, I can either obtain another 7 yellow gold tier Lord Talent crystal fragments, or obtain another 973 green bronze tier Lord Talent crystal fragments. Zhou Zhou was a little stunned thinking of this. More than 900 green bronze tier Lord Talent crystal fragments. How long would it take him to gather them? It would take 14 days to gather even if he could obtain Lord Talent crystal fragments every day. However, it was only the 11th day since he came to the High Continent. He was guaranteed that he would experience another round of drastic changes in another 14 days. I'll save the remaining 27 Lord Talent crystal fragments to upgrade the other green bronze tier Lord Talent. It's a little too far away to upgrade to white silver tier Lord Talent, Zhou Zhou thought. Actually, these 27 green bronze tier Lord Talent crystal fragments could also be used to upgrade the black iron tier Lord Talent, return to the city. However, Zhou Zhou felt that there was no need. He had not used the black iron tier Lord Talent, return to the city, too many times until now. It was not practical and would not be too late to upgrade it when it was needed. After that, Zhou Zhou opened the battlefield shop in the Lord Battlefield function. He looked at the goods inside and pondered for a while. Then, he temporarily decided not to buy them. There was no need to buy these things now. For example, the Territory Rebirth token. He had yet to encounter an opponent who could defeat him, so he had yet to use the 3 Territory Rebirth tokens in his hands, and naturally did not need to buy any more. Thinking of this, Zhou Zhou closed the battlefield shop and walked out of the residence, getting the soldiers to prepare for battle. Then, he opened the Lord Battlefield again and clicked on Ranking. A text notification appeared. Matching with your ranking opponent. Match successful. Entering the battlefield, Zhou Zhou calmly watched his body slowly turn illusory. Soon, his entire body disappeared. When he saw his surroundings again, he realized that he had appeared on a grassy plain. He stood on the city wall and looked into the distance. This grassland was very vast, with no end in sight. Occasionally, he could see a few small animals leisurely eating grass and playing. I haven't seen such a scene in a long time. A breeze blew past. The faint fragrance of grass made Zhou Zhou sigh. There was a city further away. There were bungalows connected to each other inside and 4 walls that were only more than 10 meters tall. As there was no obstruction in his vision, he immediately saw the creature living inside. They were strong sheep with fiery red horns burning like flames on their heads. Some of them were preparing for battle, while others were wolfing down the black meat. Zhou Zhou looked at one of the strongest sheep. It lived in the center of all the sheep and looked at Zhou Zhou from afar. The other party was 4 to 5 meters tall. Its fur was burning with flames, and its pair of fiery red goat eyes were suffused with a violent red light. The 2 goat horns on its head were more than 2 meters long. At a glance, it was simply like a mutated beast from the classic of mountains and seas. A notification appeared. Name of the Lord of the Foreign Race. Lord of the Original Sheep. Slow Goat King. Strength level. Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade. People of Foreign Race description. A Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race from the Green Grass World. Its favorite food is the wolf meat of the Black Mountain Wolf. It is irritable and likes meat. It was born with a weak ability to control fire due to its race talent. Loot's drop rate. None. Zhou Zhou flipped his right hand. The index of all races, Book 1, appeared in his hand. As a wisp of energy surged into the index, Zhou Zhou could clearly feel that this index seemed to have unlocked something. He immediately flipped to the first page. It was still the index of the gopher race. Then, he turned to the second page. It was an illustration of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. The Scarlet Flame Sheep Race from the Green Grass World. Ever since they were born, they were surrounded by the life force that filled the Green Grass World. They were not only strong by birth, they also had a weak ability to control flames. It's easy for them to go berserk in battle, but their combat strength will double. They have been summoned to the High Continent by the Supreme Will. Zhou Zhou retracted his gaze and put away the index of all races, Book 1. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. You have entered the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Battlefield. You and your opponent have been randomly assigned to the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Battlefield, Green Grass Plain. Your opponent is Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, Lord of the Original Sheep. Condition to defeat the enemy. Kill all the enemy forces within 24 hours. If you exceed the time limit, both sides will be judged to have negative battle results. Ranking -1. You have 10 minutes to deploy your forces. Countdown. 9 minutes, 59 seconds. Zhou Zhou immediately began to deploy. This time, other than by Yun, Wu Xian, Maris, Nazario, Ox Demons, A2, and other high-end combatants, he had only summoned 12,000 Blazing Sun Army soldiers. This was because after deploying soldiers in the Lord battlefield, the soldiers in reality would disappear. This was also what Jing Yuanqi told Zhou Zhou after he returned from the Lord battlefield for the first time. Therefore, the more than 5,000 soldiers he did not deploy this time were left behind to protect his Blazing Sun City and Sandgold City. After Bai Yun and the others appeared, Zhou Zhou immediately asked them to start setting up defenses. Bai Yun, Wu Xian, and the others immediately accepted the order. A moment later, the 12,000 soldiers were all arranged in their positions. After a while, a text notification appeared. Deployment time has ended. The Lord War has begun. Prepare for battle. Zhou Zhou looked at the city in the distance and said in a low voice. When Bai Yun heard this, she immediately asked the soldiers to prepare for battle. Soon, they saw more than 600 Scarlet Flame sheep race and some people of foreign races that they had enslaved roaring at Blazing Sun City as they rushed over unstoppably. Zhou Zhou and the others were stunned when they saw this. Bai Yun even applied the Blood Eye to see if the other party had any other hidden cards. In the end, she realized that the other party had really attacked with all their might, leaving no way out for them. The other party probably knew that we were humans through the index of all races, so they felt that we were very weak and rushed over. Wu Xian was also slightly stunned before making a guess. Rash idiots. Bai Yun shook her head. Zhou Zhou also smiled. He was really afraid that the other party would keep hiding and not come out to drag it out. Since the other party liked death so much, he would give them a quick death. When they get closer, get the long-range soldiers to start firing at the same time. After the enemy begins to escape, get the sword-shield soldiers, Pudeo soldiers, and golems to leave the city immediately to chase after them and kill all the remaining enemies as soon as possible. Bai Yun, be prepared to attack at any time to prevent the enemy from hiding any tricks. Soul Reaper Maris can attack immediately, Zhou Zhou said.
Yes.
A large number of responses immediately came from behind him. Soul Reaper Maris sat cross-legged without another word. Then, his soul left the body and flew expressionlessly towards the Scarlet Flame sheep race with the black scythe in his hand. It quickly flew amidst the enemy. It had already reached the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade and could instantly kill enemies below the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade. As the scythe swung, the enemies fell one by one silently under its God of Death scythe. A kill notification appeared. Your subject Maris has killed the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Scarlet Flame sheep race. Promotion energy +4. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 16 promotion energy points. Your subject Maris has killed a Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Scarlet Flame sheep race. Promotion energy +20. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 80 promotion energy points. Your subject Maris has killed the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade Scarlet Flame sheep race. Promotion energy +80. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 320 promotion energy points. Zhou Zhou felt rather comfortable when he saw these kill notifications and felt the promotion energy flowing into his body. He felt that he was almost at the White Silver Tier Intermediate Grade. This White Silver Tier Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God, not only increased the speed at which the soldier's strength increased greatly, but it also increased his strength as the Lord behind the scenes. One word. Awesome. At the same time, at this moment, the Scarlet Flame sheep race, which had gradually lost their rationality because of the corrosion of their battle will, did not care about the death of their kind beside them. There was only one thought left in their minds. Break through the city wall in front of them. Kill all the enemies inside. Soon, they arrived within the range of the Blazing Sun Army's long-range soldiers. With Bai Yun's order, the 1,000 elemental archers and 2,000 poison crossbow soldiers immediately began firing at the same time. Then, another volley was fired. After 2 rounds of volleys, Zhou Zhou looked at the battlefield below again. The more than 600 Scarlet Flame sheep race and the enslaved foreign race had already fallen to the ground and were no longer breathing. Even the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade Lord of the Scarlet Flame sheep race, lord of the original sheep, had been shot into a beehive-like corpse. Zhou Zhou shook his head. A rash race. He did not even use his trump card, and they actually cracked. If only I could encounter such a weak and boorish lord during every ranking. Then my advancement speed will definitely be shockingly fast. Zhou Zhou sighed. At this moment, a golden text notification appeared. You have defeated the Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, Lord of the Original Sheep, Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade. You have won this ranking competition. Congratulations, you have advanced to Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade in the Lord Battlefield of all races. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your battlefield shop has been updated. You can return to your territory. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. He was not too excited. He naturally did not feel that there was anything to be proud of after killing such a weak and brainless lord. He muttered to himself to return and brought everyone back to Blazing Sun City. In the Blazing Sun City, when Zhou Zhou appeared again, he immediately asked the soldiers to rest and prepare for the next Lord War. Then, he opened the battlefield shop and looked at the new goods inside. When he saw the new product, Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. 7. 1 Black Iron Tier Master Servant Territory Contract. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 10 Black Iron Tier Territory Tokens. So expensive? What is it? Zhou Zhou opened its detailed information curiously. Treasure name. Master Servant Territory Contract. Treasure grade. Black Iron Tier. Treasure effect 1. The Lord can make a Lord's Black Iron Tier territory his subordinate territory after using it. The Lord of the subordinate territory and the sovereignty of his territory will belong to the Lord of the main territory. The subordinate territory cannot disobey the Lord's orders. At the same time, the Lord of the main territory will bear the responsibility of protecting the subordinate territory. Treasure effect 2. After the master-slave relationship is set up, a spatial teleportation array will appear in both territories, allowing both territories to exchange needs and provide military assistance. Treasure description. It is an unequal contract, but many lords will need it. It's actually such a treasure? Zhou Zhou was a little surprised. The first person he thought of was Linger. With this master-servant territory contract and the spatial teleportation array it provided, they could meet in reality. In the future, there would be no need to go through so much trouble and treat him like an outsider. However, the content of this master-servant territory contract did look a little unequal. He had to ask Linger first. If Linger was unwilling, he would naturally not force her. Zhou Zhou did not look for Linger immediately. Instead, he activated the next lord ranking. This time, his opponent was a lord of the Wilderness Spirit Monster race. The other party was much smarter than the Scarlet Flame Sheep race and knew how to avoid the Blazing Sun army. However, because they were not very strong, Zhou Zhou and the others only used about half an hour to end this round of the Lord War. A golden text notification appeared. You have defeated the Wilderness Spirit Monster Lord, Lord of the Windchaser, Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Lord. You have won this ranking competition. Congratulations, you have advanced to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade in the Lord Battlefield of all races. Congratulations, you have completed your ranking competition and achieved the basic goal of this Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event. You have obtained the Green Bronze Tier title, Green Bronze Tier Lord. You have obtained 1 Lord Tier Treasure Chest, Green Bronze Tier. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your battlefield shop has been updated. You can return to your territory. Zhou Zhou looked at the notification and nodded in satisfaction. The ranking match is a little easy. Zhou Zhou thought ruefully. However, this was normal. If even he, as the top lord of the race, felt that it was very difficult to achieve the basic goal of the event, it would basically be equivalent to committing collective suicide if the other human lords of the cerulean planet participated in this Myriad Races Lord Battlefield activity. This was only the first official Lord event. No matter how much the Supreme will wanted to select the Lord of all races, it would not be so crazy to increase the difficulty. I still can't relax. My target is the strongest lord of my race. I'm still a long way from that goal. Zhou Zhou calmed down and thought. Then, he opened the basic target reward he had just obtained. First was the Green Bronze Tier title, Green Bronze Tier Lord. Title name, Green Bronze Tier Lord. Title quality, Green Bronze Tier, enhanceable. Title effect 1. When fighting against the enemy forces of the Scarlet Fog, you and your subjects will obtain an additional 5% increase in strength. Title effect 2. When you speak in the world channel within the race, the suffix of your Lord Battlefield title will be added behind your title. You can take the initiative to turn it off or activate it. Title description. A limited title for the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield event. It represents the recognition by the supreme will for the strength of the Lord. As the rank increases or decreases, this title will also be promoted or demoted. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. This title effect was quite practical. The 5% increase in strength might not be high, but it was already quite good for a Green Bronze Tier title to have such an enhancement effect and range. Then, he looked at the Lord's treasure chest, Green Bronze Tier. It was a bronze treasure chest that was 1 meter long, wide, and tall. A text notification appeared. Lord Tier Treasure Chest, Green Bronze Tier in the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield event. The exclusive reward will only be given after the Lord completes the ranking competition. Zhou Zhou opened it. He realized that there were 3 Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth tokens and a Green Bronze Tier outfit inside. The Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth token had the same function as the Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth token. It was only effective against the Green Bronze Tier Lord ranking competition. Even though this green bronze colored outfit was a little simple, it exuded a dignified aura. The outfit consists of a top, pants, gloves, shoes, and shirt. He took it out and looked at it. A text notification appeared. Fashion outfit name, Battlefield Recruit, Event Limited Fashion. Fashion grade, Green Bronze Tier, enhanceable. Fashion feature 1. Reduces 20% of sustained damage Green Bronze Tier and below by the wearer. Fashion feature 2. Leave the battlefield. In the Bronze Tier Lord Battlefield ranking, if you have a Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth token and your side is at a disadvantage, the Lord has the right to voluntarily admit defeat and automatically withdraw from the Lord Battlefield ranking. Fashion feature 3. You can take the initiative to choose to hide the equipment or fashion outfit you are wearing and only show the clothes you want to be seen by life forms from the outside world. Fashion outfit feature 4. Comfort plus 3. Current fashion outfit completeness, 5 out of 5. Introduction. A limited fashion outfit for the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield. Not only does it have the functions that normal equipment should have, it also has some unique functions in the Lord Battlefield. The Supreme will understands very well. Event limited fashion outfit has been created. Zhou Zhou sighed. As for these 4 fashion characteristics, there was nothing much to say about the first one. It was an equipment ability that normal defense equipment had. The second one was more interesting. This should be given for a dignified defeat for the lords who had lost in the Lord Battlefield and would save the Lord from having to experience what it was like to die before losing. He should be able to use this when he encounters powerful enemies in the future. Therefore, Zhou Zhou quite liked it as well. Fashion feature 3 and 4 both paid more supportive roles. There was some use but not too much. Then, Zhou Zhou opened the Battlefield shop and looked at the updated content and then raised his eyebrows. Because he realized that the Green Bronze Tier Battlefield shop had changed greatly compared to before. A1. Cerulean Planet Human Race Building. Architectural Blueprint Fragment of the Triumphal Arch, 1/7. Remaining purchases, 1. Price, 5 Green Bronze Tier Territory tokens. 2. 100 Designated Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Military Professionals. Remaining purchases, 10. Price, 1 Green Bronze Tier Territory token. 310 Designated Green Bronze Tier Basic Lifestyle Professionals. Remaining purchases, 10. Price, 1 Green Bronze Tier Territory token. 4. Green Bronze Tier Resurrection token, exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. Remaining purchases, 10. Price, 1 Green Bronze Tier Territory token. 5. Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth token, exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. Remaining purchases, 10. Price, 3 green bronze tier territory tokens. 6. Green bronze tier plus 1. Remaining purchases, 1. Price, 5 green bronze tier territory tokens. 7. 1 black iron tier master servant territory contract. Remaining purchases, 1. Price, 10 black iron tier territory tokens. 8. Gate of Summoning reset card. Remaining purchases, 10. Price, 1 black iron tier territory token. Zhou Zhou looked at the ranking in amazement. Firstly, the original black iron tier territory rebirth token, resurrection token, and black iron tier plus 1 had disappeared. Other than the 3 goods, the other black iron tier battlefield goods were still preserved. Not only that, after Zhou Zhou advanced to the green bronze tier, corresponding green bronze tier exchange items were also added. The exchange price of these goods had also changed from the black iron tier territory token to the bronze tier territory token. Among these goods, the thing that attracted Zhou Zhou's attention the most was naturally the blueprint fragment of the number 1 human race on the cerulean planet, the Triumphal Arch. Zhou Zhou had heard of this building since he was young. He originally thought that he would not have a chance to see this historical building after coming to the High Continent. He did not expect it to appear in front of him again in the form of a human race building on the cerulean planet. Zhou Zhou clicked on its details curiously. Construction blueprint name, Triumphal Arch, 1/7. Construction blueprint level, special, unique. Construction blueprint effect, Triumph Glory. When the Lord and his military professional subject return victorious after the war and pass through the Triumphal Arch, if the promotion energy in the Lord and his military professional subject has already accumulated to more than 80%, there is a 50% chance of directly obtaining the promotion energy that is lacking and directly obtaining a breakthrough in Strength Realm. Construction blueprint description. The blueprint of the human race on Cerulean Planet. Good news arrived from the battlefield yesterday for the triumphant return of the army today. When Zhou Zhou saw the construction effect of the Triumphal Arch, there was only one thought in his mind. I have to own it. The construction function of this Triumphal Arch was a perfect match for his blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god. With these 2 lord talents that increased his strength and the buildings of the human race on the Cerulean Planet, wouldn't the strength of the military professionals under his command increase? Then, he noticed the level description of this blueprint. Special, unique? What did this mean? Zhou Zhou was a little puzzled. If it was a unique blueprint, how could every green bronze tier lord exchange for it? Just as he was thinking, a line of text appeared. Supreme will notification 1. The Triumphal Arch has a total of 7 blueprint fragments. The first 6 blueprint fragments can be exchanged for after every Cerulean Planet Lord reaches the corresponding Lord battlefield rank. However, the 7th blueprint fragment is the only blueprint fragment. Only lords of the same race who have reached the epic tier or obtained the title of the strongest lord can buy it. Supreme will notification 2. When the last blueprint fragment is obtained, the blueprint fragments in the hands of the other lords will disappear. The Triumphal Arch will become the complete blueprint of the Cerulean Planet's human race. Zhou Zhou thoughtfully looked at the notifications of the Supreme Will. It seemed that he had to increase the speed of his ranking. Then, he looked at the battlefield shop and spent 5 green bronze tier territory tokens and 10 black iron tier territory tokens to exchange for the Triumphal Arch blueprint fragment and the black iron tier master servant territory contract. Then, he looked at the territory tokens he owned. He realized that he only had 2 green bronze tier territory tokens and 3 black iron tier territory tokens left. We have to conquer other territories tomorrow, Zhou Zhou thought. The territory token was totally not enough at all. After that, he was not in a hurry to lead the soldiers to continue fighting on the Lord's battlefield. The soldiers had been fighting for a full day after all. They could not continue fighting like this even if they were made of iron. In any case, there was enough time. It was only the first day of the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event. There was still time to play ranking tomorrow after the soldiers completely recovered their spirits and stamina. The sky was not dark yet. Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and sent someone to call by Yue Jing and Wu Xian. After asking Elder Bai to treat a patient in Fish Spring Town, He brought him and Wu Xin onto Nazario's back and flew towards Fish Spring Town. Fish Spring Town. After Zhou Zhou arrived, he brought the three of them to Zhang Li's new wind tailor shop. Teacher, Grandmaster, I'm here. As soon as Bao Xiuer arrived at the entrance of the shop, she ran in excitedly with a gift. Zhou Zhou and the others looked at each other and smiled before walking in. How old are you? Why are you still acting like a crazy girl? They saw Zhang Li saying dotingly to Bao Xiuer as soon as they entered the house. I haven't grown up yet. I'll always be my teacher's girl. Bao Xiuer giggled. Oh yes. The Lord and the two big shots in Blazing Sun City came with me this time. She came back to her senses and said quickly, Teacher Zhang, we're sorry to disturb you. Zhou Zhou said with a smile when he entered. My lord, what are you saying? Let's go into the courtyard first. Xiuer, take the lord and the others to rest first. I'll close the shop first, then come back. Zhang Li immediately stood up and said. Bao Xiuer nodded and led Zhou Zhou and the other two into the courtyard. They sat down in a room and quickly served local specialties. Soon, Zhang Li came back. This senior is the deputy commander of our Blazing Sun City's Blazing Sun Legion, Legion Commander Wu Xin. He is also the previous great general of the Aurora Kingdom. Bao Xiuer introduced Wu Xin and Bai Yuejing to her teacher. I've heard of Old Master Wu's name for a long time. I've finally seen you in person today. Zhang Li said respectfully. She had heard of Wu Xion's name before he became a subject of the Aurora Kingdom. As for the reason why this big shot would follow his lord, she was not very surprised. This was because there had been rumors in Fish Spring Town recently that many retired big shots of the Aurora Kingdom had joined Blazing Sun City, including Wu Xian. Therefore, she only confirmed it now. Wu Xian smiled and nodded. As for this elderly gentleman, he's also very impressive. This sir's surname is Bai. Before he retired, he was an imperial doctor of the Aurora Kingdom and the vice president of the Aurora Kingdom Physician Association. The main reason why we're here this time is to let Elder Bai take a look at Grandmaster's condition and see if there's any way to treat her. Bao Xiuer nodded and introduced Bai Yuejing seriously. After hearing her disciple's introduction, Zhang Li, who had always been calm, immediately stood up and looked at Bai Yuejing excitedly. Can you really save my teacher? She could not help but say excitedly. Calm down. I can only make a judgment after seeing your master. Bai Yuejing did not guarantee anything. Even though he was a diamond-tier intermediate grade doctor, there were always all kinds of illnesses in the world. No doctor dared to guarantee that they could cure others without seeing the patient. Sorry, I was too anxious. Zhang Li calmed down when she heard this, but she looked at Bai Yuejing with anticipation. Since we're at this point, let's go see Elderly now. Zhou Zhou said. It's getting dark. My lord, you're already very tired from rushing here. Why don't we have a meal and rest before going to see my teacher? Teacher's condition is still relatively stable at the moment. It won't matter if it takes a while. Zhang Li was a little embarrassed. The patient is the most important. We can't delay it. We'd better go now. Bai Yuejing shook his head. Since the other party had already said so, the others had no objections. Seeing this, Zhang Li led everyone to Li Huiyue's room. Zhou Zhou asked everyone to be quiet after arriving at Elder Li Huiyue's room. Then, he saw Bai Yuejing walk forward alone. He sat in front of Li Huiyue and placed his hand above her heart. Wisps of gentle energy that emitted a pale white light surged out of his body and entered Li Huiyue's heart. Bai Yuejing closed his eyes. He began to sense Li Huiyue's condition. The treatment system of the human doctors on the high continent was very different from that of the cerulean planet. As doctors were a type of professionals, they naturally grasped the extraordinary tier professional power that belonged solely to doctors. So the normal way they treat patients was, he would fuse the doctor's extraordinary tier energy in his body into the patient's heart and blood. Then, he would let the heart push the blood to circulate the doctor's extraordinary tier energy throughout the patient's body. He would use this method to sense the situation in the patient's entire body. The higher the level of the doctor, the more he could understand the patient's condition through this method. It could even heal patients through the extraordinary tier energy of doctors. At this moment, Bai Yuejing used this method. A moment later, Bai Yuejing opened her eyes and frowned deeply. Did your master once do something that lasted for a long time without sleep or food? He looked at Zhang Li and asked. Zhang Li's eyes were blank. Then, she seemed to have thought of something and nodded with uncertainty. That seemed to have happened. Back when I was living separately from teacher, she was looking for all kinds of high-level textile materials. She seemed to want to make a relatively high-grade costume. Teacher was already like this when I saw her again, she replied. Bai Yuejing nodded. Then, he shook his head. An equipment that can make an extraordinary tier tailor exhaust most of the blood essence and potential in her body should be an epic tier equipment. Zhou Zhou and the others were shocked. Exhausted most of the blood essence and potential in her body just to build an epic tier equipment? Bao Xior's grandmaster was an extraordinary tier tailor? Many speculations immediately popped up in their minds. Is there a way to cure my teacher? Zhangli could not help but ask. It's very difficult. The function of her internal organs is close to zero. Most of her essence blood has also been used up. Even her potential has fallen to the white platinum tier. Honestly, I think it's a miracle that she's still alive. Bai Yuejing shook his head. As a diamond tier intermediate grade imperial doctor, he had seen countless patients since he was young. But even so, he had rarely seen someone like Li Huiyue, who looked alive but was actually close to death. Zhang Li's face turned pale. Bai Yuejing was about to comfort him. At this moment, don't give up. There's still a chance of survival. A serious and old voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Bai Yuejing was stunned. Then, he reacted. This was a notification from the great doctor of the Imperial Ancestral Temple, the author of the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. How can I treat her? He immediately asked in his heart. The patient's internal organs are exhausted, her potential is decreasing, her life is about to end. Ordinary life-saving methods are no longer useful. The most important thing now is to restore the patient's physique and spirit to a normal state. Then, restore her potential and use a great tonic to restore her vitality. In the end, the patient can be cured through recuperation and the self-healing method of the life form's potential. I'll explain. Take note. 3 liters of ginger juice, 2 liters of charred tiger bones, 5 liters of 1,000-year-old ginseng, 10 liters of appendix. Bai Yuejing was about to record it, but he immediately looked confused when he heard this. Sun Simiao seemed to have thought of something, and his voice stopped abruptly. Then, he smiled. I was confused. I forgot that your side is an alternate world. Then let me put it another way. If you have any thoughts, you can communicate with me at any time. 2 liters of white silver tier medicinal herb, blood mulberry wood core, 1 liter of white silver tier medicinal herb, orchid spirit grass, 5 pieces of white silver tier medicinal herb, 3 spirit water leaf, 3 green bronze tier medicinal herb, 6-eyed ghost flowers. Finally, give the patient a bottle of extraordinary tier potential advancement potion. The potential of your world is extraordinary. It would not be inferior to divine level medicine if used well. Thank you for your guidance. I've benefited a lot, Bai Yuejing said in shock. He already knew the treatment idea through the prescription provided by Sun Simiao. The collision and intersection of the 2 medical systems gave him inspiration. He even felt like he was seeing the path of an extraordinary tier doctor. At this moment, Bai Yuejing was even more grateful to the Lord for handing the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies to him for safekeeping. This was almost equivalent to a huge opportunity for him. At this moment, Sun Simiao's voice was no longer in his mind. Seeing this, Bai Yuejing came in front of Zhou Zhou and told him about his conversation with Sun Simiao. Zhou Zhou was a little surprised. Then, he agreed to his request for an extraordinary tier potential advancement potion without hesitation. Saving people was more important now. Moreover, every living lord of all races still had 1 bottle of extraordinary tier potential advancement potion rewarded when they became an official lord other than the ones that had been used. He had used up all his extraordinary tier potential advancement potion, then he would just snatch it again. Zhou Zhou did not feel guilty at all about doing something like that to the enemy.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.